Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the recent order that has come regarding the cracker ban in the event of Diwali. The order has been given by the Honorable Supreme Court of India. So in this video, we are going to discuss in details what the actual order is, what is the problem associated with the fireworks during Diwali, and what kind of fireworks are actually allowed as per Supreme Court, and what are the green crackers in that regard. But first of all, to give you the context or background of this particular issue, recently, one day ago, the Supreme Court of India has clarified that the order which it has passed with regard to the ban of fireworks, it does not apply only to the national capital region or the Delhi region. Rather than this order should be applied countrywide. Now, the problem arose because many state governments were saying that the order is specifically targeting NCR Delhi region because of high level of pollution. Now, obviously, if you are following the news, you would have heard that in Delhi recent times, the pollution level, which is largely measured by the AQI, that is the air quality index, shot up to 400, which is normally 8 to 10 times more than pollution level you'll find in the other cities of India, such as Bangalore, Mumbai, and also Delhi pollution was obviously very higher. However, Supreme Court has clarified this doubt and has said that the use of barium and other banned chemicals in fireworks applies on a countrywide scale. And in this regard, the bench of Justices A.S. Bopanna and M.M. Sundares was hearing an application that sought directions to the Rajasthan government to comply with the top court order. And thus, to make the matter more clear, the Supreme Court released a statement where it categorically has stated that the said orders will bind every state in the country, including the state of Rajasthan. Therefore, we make it clear that the state of Rajasthan would also take note of this and take all steps required to minimize air and noise pollution, not only during the festival season, but even thereafter. So this order, this statement, the Supreme Court has made it very clear that the ban on the fireworks, a specific kind of fireworks, applies at a countrywide level, a countrywide scale. So let us try to understand the order and how the chronology of the orders that has been given in Supreme Court in this regard. So first of all, it was in the month of October 2018 when we can say the apex court has banned two different things. First of all, it banned the production and sale of all kind of firecrackers except two kind of firecracker. One, what we call as green crackers, and second is such kind of crackers which are improved in nature and which are producing very lesser amount of emission. So reduced emission cracker or improved crackers. Apart from that, Supreme Court also banned the manufacture and sale of joint crackers. Now, joint crackers is something that you already must have seen around you, that it is basically rows of crackers that are joined together, that once you fire it, the sound and the light and everything that it produces will go on for an extended period of time. And thus, at the same time, it prohibited the use of barium salts. Now, barium is an element, a metal. So, any use of barium salts in the fireworks, and said their noise levels should be within the permissible limit, because the cracker, the fireworks, not only produces pollution in the atmosphere by release of the polluted particle, it also produces another kind of pollution that we can call as the noise pollution, which can threaten the hearing capacity of individuals, especially if it is a child or people who are having reduced hearing capacity in the old age period. Then further, it was again in year 2020, 2 years later, the NGT, that is the National Green Tribunal, also the Environmental Court of India, it stated and banned the sale and use of all kind of firecrackers in the NCR region, and green crackers, it said, would also not be permitted extensively. Green crackers also, obviously green crackers do not produce zero emission, it also produces pollution, it also causes pollution, albeit at the reduced level. So it said that green crackers would also be permitted only in such cities and towns where air quality was moderate or poor. That means NGT has said that if the pollution level is very higher, that means there should be prohibition on the use of green crackers as well. Then further in October 2021, again the matter was referred to the Supreme Court, where it has categorically reiterated its point that it has made in the order of October 2018. And thus further, if we talk about in this particular year, that is in September 2023, the Supreme Court has junked a plea that was that was sent by the Firecracker Manufacturers Association, and it said that it will allow, basically the Firecrackers Manufacturers Association has pleaded that they should be allowed the use of joint crackers because it is very much high in demand. It will lead to loss of revenue for this association, these companies, and to add barium with improved additives in the green crackers. But both this has been rejected by the Supreme Court, and the plea itself has been dismissed in the first instance. Now, let us try to understand what is the firecracker made up of, and what are the problems that it basically, what are the challenges that it presents to us. So, first of all, the firecrackers, they are typically consisting of 4 primary ingredients. The first ingredient is what we can call as oxidizer. The oxidizer, as clear from the name itself, it basically is required for the cracker to catch fire. In the absence of oxidizer, it will be very difficult for the fire crackers to basically catch fire. Second is the fuel. Fuel is something that sustains the fire. That basically the amount of fuel in a cracker will determine that for how long duration will the firecracker burn. Firecracker will produce light or sound. Third is the coloring agent. Now, this is the most important and the deadliest composition or component of a firecracker, because it is a coloring agent which imparts different colors to the firecrackers. If you have seen in the night sky, there are colors like a green, yellowish, reddish, bluish. So all these are imparted to it by using of certain salts, which are largely metallic salts. And finally, the binder, which obviously is needed. It is basically a special kind of mixture that is put or that is included in the firecracker, whose main role is to bind all these 3 elements together till the time cracker is not exhausted or spent. Now, in this regard, chemicals like barium are what we can call as a coloring agent and were banned because of their harmful impact on human health. So, the coloring agent like barium salts have been banned. So, what kind of harmful impact we can experience due to the addition of barium salt? This we can try to understand from this particular table. Now, if you talk about the various different kind of colors that we see during the burst of firecracker. So, first of all, when you see the red color, the blazing red colors, this is largely due to the addition of lithium compounds in the crackers. The negative impact of inhaling huge amount of lithium compound, especially during the festival season of Diwali, New Year's and all that, these can cause toxic and irritating fumes when burned and can cause respiratory irritation, especially in the people who are in the vulnerable groups, such as the people who are suffering from COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, people who have the bouts of asthma, as well as the small children whose immunity level is very low. Second, we can see the colors that we see in the firecracker is glittering greens. We can say this greens is the green color is basically caused by the addition of barium salt, as we have discussed, more specifically barium nitrate, and this is the most dangerous chemical out of the all chemicals that we are talking about. So basically barium nitrate has if it is inhaled, it can irritate respiratory tracts and also have possible radioactive fallout. And also we talk about, it has also been observed that there is a potential to cause cancer if it is inhaled, the fumes are inhaled for extended duration of time. Third is the white color, the sparkling white color, brilliant white colors that we see in the crackers. That is because of addition of aluminium, and it can cause contact dermatitis, which is a kind of skin infection, skin irritation, as well as the bioaccumulation can happen if aluminium is basically transferred from one trophic level to the other trophic level. Bioaccumulation basically refers to a situation where an organism at a lower trophic level consumes certain amount of certain chemicals, and then when the animal at a higher trophic level consumes huge number of these smaller animals, then it accumulates in their body. Then further at the top of food chain, if suppose a human is consuming certain animals who has consumed large number of animals at lower trophic levels, in the humans the total accumulated amount of aluminium can exceed than what human body can process, and it can cause a lot of issues in the human anatomy. Thirdly, we talk about the blue color that is imparted to the crackers is because of the addition of copper compounds. It also has a greater risk. It actually is associated with a great risk of cancer risk, and also there is a potential of bioaccumulation. Glittering effect that we see, sparkling effect that we see is because of addition of antimony sulfide, which can produce toxic smoke and also is a possible carcinogen. So due to the addition of these salts and their adverse negative impact on human health that we can see here, it is due to this rationale the Supreme Court has asked to ban the barium salts and addition of bariums in the firecrackers. Not only that, the burning of firecrackers, bursting of firecrackers also produces pollution, atmospheric pollution, and this we can see the impact of the Diwali firecracking burst in Diwali 4 days before and 5 days after Diwali, that we can see the data has been collected by University of Minnesota in the month of August 2018. And here it says that 0 day represents the day of Diwali. So as you can see, after Diwali for 3 days continuously, we can see almost 30 to 40% increase in the level of particulate matter 2.5. Now, particulate matter 2.5 is such kind of solid dust particle that is floating in the atmosphere whose diameter is less than 2.5 microns, and these smaller particles cannot be prevented from entering by human body by our mechanisms such as nostril hairs and all other things. So they basically enter the body, and many times they are not expelled while we are exhaling, and basically they are circulated in the blood stream of the human body, and that can have a lot of adverse or negative consequences. So 4 days before and 5 days later, if you compare, 4 days before Diwali, we can see the particulate matter is either roughly about 2 to 3% increase, or basically it is about 20 to 30% lower, and as compared to that 5 days after Diwali, we can see there has been continuous increase in the level of particulate matter 2.5. And not only that, as we have discussed in the beginning of the video, that the bursting of firecracker, especially if it is done over a large area for an extended duration of time by a huge number of people, that can cause what you can say, the sound that can exceed the noise that can exceed 140 decibels. And basically doctors recommend that any noise that is above 85 decibel can damage our hearing ability. The sound level increase can lead to other the symptoms as well, such as restlessness, temporary or permanent hearing losses, high blood pressure, as well as sleep disturbance. Now, to tackle these problems, or basically more precisely what we can say, to minimize the problems due to the bursting of firecracker, the concept of green cracker was devised. Now, green cracker, why they are called as green cracker? The name is because they do not contain harmful chemicals that would cause air pollution. Apart from that, the components in firecrackers are replaced with others that are less dangerous and less harmful to the atmosphere. The development or the concept of green cracker, first of all, it was designed, or the idea was given by research that was done in the network of CSIR labs, that is Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, that included many labs such as Central Electrochemical Research Institute, Indian Institute of Chemical Technology, National Botanical Research Institute, as well as the National Chemical Laboratory. So green crackers thus emit less harmful chemicals and are more environment friendly in nature. Now, green cracker is also something that is basically classified into 3 different categories. The first kind of green cracker is what we call as SWAS. SWAS is such kind of green cracker which stand for safe water and air sprinklers. Such kind of crackers eliminate the use of potassium nitrate and the sulfur, and produces water whenever they are bursted, whenever they are burned. And since water molecules is being released here, the water molecule will act as a dust suppressant, and thus due to this, the reduced emission of particulate matter will be observed by 30 to 35%. The second kind of green chemical is what we can call it a STAR. STAR stands for safe thermite. Safe thermite eliminates the use of potassium nitrate and sulfur as well, reduces PM emission by 35 to 40%, and it significantly reduces SO2 and NOx emission, where NOx stands for nitrogen oxides. Then the last is what we call as SAFAL type of green cracker, which stand for safe minimal aluminum, and obviously it minimizes the use of aluminum in the cracker and reduces PM again by 35 to 40%. Not only that, apart from these, all the 3 types of green cracker, that is SWAS, STAR, SAFAL, they have matching sound intensity in 105 to 110 decibel range without conventional crackers. In recent times, there also is a new concept, that is why we can call it as crackers of future, that is E-LUDI and ENR. These are electronic cracker which are developed to give various light and sound impact, various light and sound effect without actually causing atmospheric pollution. So that is all about the concept of green cracker and the ban on the conventional cracker by the Supreme Court of India. This is all for this particular video. Thank you very much.